Well then, ladies and gentlemen, we have entered the sudden death phase of this round. After all, the scoreline is 1-1, so whoever loses this round is gonna be out of the tournament. The map is gonna be Adaptive Kusoge, made by Patrick Pons and well known for its peculiar, well, sky objects. It's very hard to say what exactly are they, as they are a mystery of FAF. So well, we will leave this to someone else to actually go and discover what exactly is floating in the air. But other than that, this is Kusoge, so it does have quite some reclaim available, so we should go and see players actually fighting over the mid lane control here. As we can see already Blast Shield saying, "Hey everyone, hey hey!" in a big bright blue colors. But yeah, we will most likely see players go and fight over this position here in the mid lane, as there is quite a few maxes available and also some mass. As when it comes to this position up here higher, it's gonna be much harder, as we're gonna have M28 AIs playing in the same team on the top corner. So yes, Blackwell playing as Turtle with the UEF. His closest support is gonna be Janus, playing Aeon. On the other hand, we're gonna have Lish, also playing Aeon as the M28 Adaptive. And then last but not least, it is gonna be the M28 Turtle, Carlos, playing UEF. And surprisingly, this is the first time in this tournament that this position from the M28 is not going for a very fast bomber. As in the previous games, we had seen the M28 go for the first air factory into bomber to go and harass the players, so yep. That's a small change. Other than that, we're gonna have the team Blast Shield here in the bottom corner with Hybrid playing UEF on the left side corner, so he's most likely gonna be responsible for, well, containing the enemy M28 players. Seraphim Noob is gonna be supporting him from the other slot. On the air slot, we're gonna have no one else but Gingerbreadman playing Cybran. And last but not least, it is gonna be the team captain, Mr. Blast Shield playing Seraphim. Their opponents are gonna be, on the bottom right corner slot, Vindex playing UEF and going for an early drone, which is a very interesting play here, as this upgrade is not really used in the competitive matches, so yes. I really do wonder how is he gonna go and use it, but yes. I guess he can go and actually grab this max, and then he can go and keep on stealing the reclaim with it. So that might be actually a really nice play. Other than that, we're gonna have Arne playing Aeon, going for the mid lane to go and support the other players. Then we're gonna have Azot, known as Control K, playing Cybran in the air slot. No wait, this is not the air slot. This is the support slot. And then on the front line, playing versus the M28 AIs, it's gonna be no one else but the team captain, Mr. Popiska, playing UEF. So it seems like the M28 is gonna be very aggressive from the get-go, as they're gonna go and start bullying the players by building a bunch of spirits to go and harass the expanding engineers and other units from the players. And it's gonna be the same story on both sides, although we can already see a small difference between the players. As for the top side team, we will only have Popiska going to go and fight versus the M28. Meanwhile, on the bottom corner, on the left side, we'll have both ACUs from Seraphim and Hybrid actually joining the fight together, so yes. There is also an early bomber coming from Seraphim. Unfortunately, it is not gonna do anything, as all it managed to do is kill a single lab, and that's it. As we only saw 23 mass killed, so yes, quite unlucky, that was not the best bomber. Surprising he didn't go for the engineers in this little valley, instead of he went for the units in front of the ACUs, so yes. Mid lane, it seems like we had an airdrop by Gingerbreadman, as he's not gonna move his ACU towards the middle. Instead, he's gonna go and support Mr. Blast Shield, the team captain, on the right flank, as we can see. Already a very aggressive gun build for the Blast Shield, already 25% done. And that's a good choice, because as we can see, Vindex is nearly done with his No, wait. Why was it showing 80% for a second? Oh well. Maybe there was some bug with the engineers or something, but anyway. It seems like the gun upgrade is gonna be done faster on the AC belonging to the Vindex. Other than that, we're gonna have a bunch of bombers going for the engineers belonging to Gingerbread Man, and kaboom! 4 engines kill in a single shot. And with the factory already finished, it seems like it is not gonna build anything, because even though it is still trying to build some units, it's gonna get reclaimed by the engineer drop belonging to Control K, so yes. Control K once again proving himself to be the drop master, as he is dropping all kinds of units around the maps. And yep, it seems like Gingerbread have been actually forced to move his ACU towards the mid lane now, as he can no longer afford to go and leave the mid lane undefended, as that would give too much map control to the team Popiska, and that's not something they wanna see. Let's see, it seems like Seraphim Noob and the Hybrid are gonna get some good... Well, they got some good trades here, but here is the problem now. The enemy is now gonna field Auroras, and without gun upgrade available on any of the ACUs, I have to say that, well, Seraphim Noob is gonna have a very hard time staying alive here, as those little buggers are gonna keep on shooting away at him, flinging his HP lower and lower, as long as the M27 doesn't botch the micro, the Auroras should be, well, impossible to kill for the enemy ACUs. At the same time, it seems like the lone player, Popiska, the team captain, is having a very hard time defending versus the enemy M28. As we can see, he has been pushed back to his main core base, as he is having quite some trouble dealing with the opposing forces. Okay, it seems like the ACU belonging to Gingerbread Man is gonna go and actually regain control over the closest mid lane expansion. That is, if he will actually go in for the kill on the PD. We have two ACUs exchanging fire, as two gun comes from Bloodshield and Bully are gonna keep on fighting on the bottom right corner. And it seems like, well, Bloodshield might be the one with the advantage here. As we can see, he has way more units available to himself compared to his opponents. And he's getting, well, also better trades here. And it seems like the T1 rover have been actually used to, yep, secure this position and grab the reclaim. So yes, it was actually kinda nice to see it happen. Although he actually lost the little CD1 rover 2 times in a row versus the blast shield firing overcharges at his opponent's ACU. And oh my goodness, is this player in trouble or not? Nope, it seems like they're still more or less fine, as Hybrid is gonna go and grab his own gun upgrade. And the problem here on the mid lane is that there is 2 ACUs belonging to Endranii and Control K joining the fight, so yes. It seems like the front line here is gonna move even deeper towards the territory of the team Blast Shield, as unless Gingerbread Man can go and grab the gun upgrade on time, he will be forced to go and keep on running away from the enemy ACUs. And let's see what's the story in the right side. It seems like the players are both evenly matched for the moment, as both are just grabbing kills left and right by killing the enemy T1 units. So it seems like this is gonna be a stalemate for a little while longer. Let's see what are the air players doing. Okay, it seems like Gingerbread Man is actually not the air player, as it is gonna be Seraphim Noob who is building the T2 RHQ, and for now he is just spamming out the T1 spotters, the T1 scouts, to go and see what exactly is happening around the map. A small runway happening in the middle. Fortunately, it seems like Gingerbread Man is paying attention to what is happening, and as such, the few enemy mantises are gonna get intercepted by the Gingerbread Man units. And also seems like with the gun upgrade available for Hybrid and Seraphim Noob ACU going right behind him, we will have them try to go and kill the opposing forces, as the M28 in the left side is actually being forced back to his own base. On the top side, it seems like the lonesome ACU from Popiska is still managing to go and actually hold down the fort versus two opposing M28 players. So that's very good for the team Popiska, as they have only had to dispatch a single ACU compared to their opponents, and as such, they actually should be able to go and have the advantage in the mid lane, but they will not, as they didn't foresee the fact that Gingerbread Man would actually build a fast gun upgrade and then push them back, as we can see both Endranii and Azot, without a single upgrade on their ACU, which is very unlucky. And yeah, Seraphim Noob really should go and grab the gun upgrade here to go and help Hybrid, as the man alone is not gonna be capable of, well, properly dealing with the enemy forces, as we can already see the M28 starting to go and field the Gatling bots, the Moon Goose, which are gonna outrange the Guncomb belonging to Hybrid, so yes, they will need some more HP and firepower if they wanna stay around this part of the map. Any changes on the right side front? Nope, not really. It seems like both Blast and Vindex are nearly here with the second Veterancy upgrade on their ACUs. They just need a few more kills. Bunch of bombers coming from Gingerbread Man to go and save the day. They're gonna go for the enemy ACU, which is a small... no, never mind. They're actually going for the Reclaim and the Engineers, as they will try to go and deny all the mass they can from the opposing team, which is a very nice thing to see. At the same time, Gingerbread Man is gonna go for the small, sneaky Cybran push for the mid lane. They're gonna go and kill a bunch of engineers belonging to Endranii, and most likely destroy the freshly built hydrocarbon power generator. So yes, a few more mexes have fallen down, so that's actually quite nice. And it seems like the M28, Janus, is gonna come under fire from enemy ACUs, as Popiska is making the deal here, as he's trying to settle the score with the M28 by pushing him back. No gun upgrade available on the M27 ACU, meaning that Popiska can actually keep on dealing damage for free, as he can just stand behind and keep on chasing the enemy M28 player. As we can see, HP dropping lower and lower, 1600, 1500 overcharge gonna hit to and lower the HP to only a bunch more, 400, 250, and kaboom, baby! Here's the first kill of the game, as Popiska scores the kill. As such, it seems like he should have some more breathing room available, and at the same time, with all of this economy going towards the hands of the Carlos M28 Turtle player, it seems like the team Blast Child is gonna be the one in trouble. After all, this guy here right now have the double income available, so it's gonna become even harder to play around here, especially as Seraphim Noob is still not upgrading his ACU, meaning he's not gonna be that useful in this game for now versus the enemy M28 units. Let's see the mid lane. Mid lane have become a stalemate once again. And we have a small sniping force available, as Seraphim Noob is starting to build up a bunch of Spectre gunships. But the question is, can he use them? Especially as we can see, here comes the sniper from the enemy teams. The Corsairs gonna miss their shells, as half of them will miss. But here comes the Spectre gunship to seal the deal. Blast shield, 1000 HP remaining. One more volley and kaboom, no, never mind. Yep, he is dead. I repeat, Blast Shield Team Captain is dead, as he has been sniped by enemy forces. That was a well-played maneuver from the opposing team, and now we will even see that the Spectre guns belonging to Seraphim are also gonna get shot down by the Swifties and Interceptors belonging to the enemy team. Although thankfully, here comes the Intis belonging to Gingerbread Man to go and save the day and win the air fight for the Team Blast Shield, meaning they will have the air control for now. Although with the lost Spectre gunships, it seems like they won't be able to do that much versus the opposing forces. So right now it seems like the ACU and army belonging to Vindex, and also the support from Endranii, they should be able to actually go and grab map control to the right side of this white line here, so yes. That's gonna be a very nice swing in the direction of the team Popiska. Especially as they're losing the APM now. As Hybrid is, well, in a little bit of trouble, as we can see the double Gamcom upgrade from the Leash M28 being available here. As his Mongoose Gatling bolts are also coming under fire. So yes, unless Hybrid will receive some more support from the team, I don't see him holding to this front line for much longer. What is this Corsair doing? Okay, it have been dispatched to go and kill the enemy radars. As we can see, the T2 radar belonging to J.J. Bradman have been shot down. And now the Corsair is gonna go after another... Oh, it missed. It just wasn't ready to reload fast enough, so yep. It seems like the other Magnum radar is gonna stay alive. Though still, even if this radar is alive, it doesn't mean that they will have a proper coverage here, as we can see. Only this part of the map is under the radar coverage. So everything on the front line is basically, well, hidden from the team Blast Shield, meaning that about now, the team Popiska can basically keep on playing however they want, as the opposing team basically have no intel available, as we can see. And I really am starting to be afraid for Hybrid's well-being, as while he's still doing his best, his opponents are really pushing versus him. Okay, it seems like the Restorer is gonna get shot down by a bunch of interceptors belonging to the M28 player, as Seraphim Noob is unfortunately taking unnecessary losses. He is still gonna keep on building Restorers one after another from the T3 Air Factory. Meanwhile, his opponent is only now going to reach the T3, the T3 stage, as the engineer is gonna be built, and soon enough, in the next 30 seconds, we will most likely see the first T3 power generator built here for Endranii. So honestly, Restorers are not that bad of an idea for now. The problem is, you cannot keep losing them versus the M28 forces. Especially when your opponent is building and amassing another swatch of Corsairs to go and snipe your ACUs, so yes. The Corsairs are up in the air, going for the right side of the map. As I wonder what kind of attack is gonna go and come from the east side. Let's take a look at Popiska, who is still having a quite decent time staying alive here. He just got the nano-repair available, which is great news because his AC was down to only 3000 HP, and he will really need the HP regen to stay alive in the game here, as the M28 is not gonna give it up so easily. Let's see, Hybrid still trying to go and, well, use his lonesome ACU to go and keep the front line here intact. Unfortunately, it seems like he's slowly but surely running out of the APM, as we could see his ACU losing a lot of HP versus the enemy MMLs, as the even song T2 mobile missile launchers from Leash M28 are dealing a lot of damage versus his units and his ACU too. Even now we can see the pillars taking unfortunate damage as they are not being properly microed, so yes. The value from the cheap T1 and T2 units belonging to the M28 is, well, massive. Okay, the Corsairs are gonna go and fall back for now, it seems. As the Restorers are inching closer and closer towards the units belonging to Vindex. As it seems like we have entered a slower period of the game, where basically both teams are unwilling to go and take bigger risks, never mind. It seems like Control K might be actually fishing for some targets. He does have quite a few Swifties, Intis and Corsairs available, So together with the ASF belonging to Endranii, they might be actually fully capable of winning the airfight. No, they might not. I totally forgot about the intis belonging to Gingerbreadman. So yes, those intis are now making the difference and making it impossible for the Team Popiska to actually go and leverage the big Corsair army, so yes. Never mind. We might have an airfight brewing on our hands, as the Restorers are gonna become the target for the Red Force. As the Red Air Force belonging to Endranii and Control K is gonna go for the enemy Restorers. Shots are being fired. First Restor dropping out half HP, and oh, what a beautiful bait, what a beautiful bait! As we can see, the Corsairs and Swifties were the bait for the ASF belonging to Team Endranii to actually go and get behind the ASF belonging to Seraphim Noob. So yes, that was a beautiful bait indeed, but it seems like the Restorers are just way too tanky. They are way tanky, and here comes the interceptors belonging to Gingerbreadman. All of them, no fuel available, at the start they're gonna be very slow to actually get into the fight. As the Restorers are dropping one after another. But thankfully they joined the fight just on time to go and actually, well, make the difference. As it seems like this is gonna be basically more or less a draw, with a slight victory for the Seraphim Noob. But the problem is, he lost all the ASF and all the Restorers, but thankfully, it seems with the airfight being fought over the part of the map belonging to the Team Blast Shield, all the 11,000 mass is still gonna be near the base belonging to Gingerbread Noob. So he can just go here and reclaim all of it, so yes, this is actually a decent trade for them. The problem is, can he actually match the build power of Endranii? Well, he most likely can for now. And while we were looking at the airfight happening, it seems like Hybrid actually managed to go and dispatch the second ACU belonging to the M28, as you can see here. I have missed that one happening, but I feel like the airfight was much more important. As right now, the teams from Blast Shield can actually go and reign over the skies. 4 free ASF and a single Swifty for the Endranii versus 13 ASF belonging to Seraphim Noob. So I really do hope he will go and make a good use of it. Build some more Restorers, or even better, build 1 or 2 Strat Bombers and go for the enemy grid. Like, you can deal so much damage, like, you know, ground fire this position here, and you not only kill a massive build power, you also most likely kill both of those power generators. As the damage done to this pigeon and the China explosion from this one should be enough to kill this low HP one here remaining, so yes. That would be the play from me right now, as to how to leverage the air control for this part of the map, and it seems like Popiska together with Control K ACU are both gonna move in, but hey, there is a lot of triads being fired here as the ACU belonging to Popiska is taking massive damage, as we can see. 3000 HP remaining. He is dodging, weaving left and right to go and try to save his ACU. 2000 HP remaining. Dropping lower and lower as the triads are still trying to kill him. Here comes the shield. The shield is no more as it has been just killed. 2000 HP remaining, 2000.
Gotta be kidding!
As the ACU from the M28 Blackwell just have been killed by the push from Popiska, but now his ACU might be the next target. We can see missiles flying left and right as the guy is trying to go and dodge his with his ACU. Okay, it seems like he might be still able to run away. Oh boy, that was a very close one. So yep, it seems like he will still manage to go and stay alive, as he somehow managed to go and use his units to go and kill the enemy M28 ACU. So now there is only Carlos M28 remaining in this game. And honestly, if I was the team Blast Shield, I would most likely go for a snipe on this guy here. Kill him, swoop in with the forces here, reclaim all of that and call it a game. Okay, we have Gingerbreadman actually going for the push in the mid lane. As we have reached the T3 stage, as we can see the Brick and Rhinos pushing forward versus the units belonging to Control K here. as he's trying to go and build up some defenses. The question is, are these defenses gonna be enough? They might not be enough, but here comes the hot drop with the ACU belonging to Azot. As the ACU with the gun upgrade and the stealth should be enough to go and well stop this push. Overcharge gonna kill a few of the units belonging to Gingerbreadman, as the ACU is gonna go and close the distance. Here comes the Restorers belonging to Seraphim to go and shut down the transport, and also now maybe they can go and try to kill the Control K. Nope, here comes the ASF to go and shut down the enemy Restorers. With some good micro, the Restorer is gonna get no more value. As it seems like right now, it is gonna be 2 air players versus single Seraphim noob, so yes. The air control might be no longer in the hands of the team Blast Shield. And let's see how many ASF available. 18 ASF and a single Restorer for the bottom team, meanwhile the top side team, Team Popiska, have 14 ASF for Endranii and also another 10 for Control K, meaning that the air control is now basically a 50-50, depending on the usage of the enemy interceptors. Oh no, it seems like Seraphim have been sniped by something. Was it a TML? Was it a Control K? What was that? Do we have TML missile launchers? Yes, we have, so he most likely died versus a TM. No, I don't wanna believe you would actually idle your ACU here, so I would say this was a connection issue problem or something. I have no clue. Wasn't an air snipe? I don't think so, because they still have all the ASF and stuff available, so I'm kinda baffled. How does he die in this spot exactly? But yes, maybe it was a Strat Bomber snipe from the Shockers belonging to M28. But yes, it seems like Vindex is now getting pushed back by Gingerbreadman. Okay, it seems like a single overcharge gonna go and kill a bunch of enemy units. Another brick gonna go and fall down as the AC usage by Vindex is impeccable. As the third brick is also gonna go and bite the dust. As the UEF AC is not gonna go and stop. As such, Gingerbreadman might be forced to go and start running away with his own units, as otherwise his little army is gonna get killed without any kind of, well, impunity from the opposing team. Even now we can see Control K moving and hot dropping his ACU with the T2 transport to the front line once again, as now he will join the forces with Bully the Noob to go and make a push. Here comes the snipe from the Corsairs, which are gonna get killed in no time by the enemy flag and the Gemini ASF fighter. So yep, no sneaky moves are gonna work out versus these 2 players here. As it seems like Control K and Vindex are safe from any kinds of, well, air snipe attempts. Let's take a look at the front line on the top side, where Popiska is still doing quite well versus the opposing M28 forces, as he have reached the T3 stage and he is now deploying Titans, the heavy assault bots, to go and keep the front line alive and well. As we can see, the M27 is just unable to go and force his way down to the base of the red player, although we can see that the TML missiles being fired once again and again are proving to be a little bit problematic, as not enough TMB is available, as now it seems like this T3 Max is gonna go and explode with a one more missile strike from this missile launcher, from this Aloha. So it is hard to say how long can actually Popiska stay in the game here, because we can see that his, well, economy is dropping lower and lower, and also there is a big threat of this Fat Boy being finished, because the moment it is done, I have to say that Popiska will be no longer able to actually go and, well, defend versus itself with his paltry economy. But at the same time, it seems like the hybrid is in a much worse state here, as the MMLs and the T3 artillery the Serenity, the Iron ones, are proving to be too much of a hassle to defend versus, as the front line is slowly but surely shifting towards the Cyan base here, as we can see. Hybrid trying to go and grab some T3 LAN upgrades so he can start fielding the Titans and Percivals to defend himself. But this is not gonna be that easy after all. The M28 Micro is quite impeccable.
The gloves are coming off.
As such, it's gonna be really hard to go and catch him off guard, as we can see. The moment the Percival tries to come closer, all the units are just gonna go and spread out and run away from him and basically maintain the range advantage, so yes. This is gonna be very, very hard for Hybrid to actually, well, contain the opponent here. And the same can be said about Popiska, who is now being forced to rebuild the T3 mass extractors after losing them one after another. Thankfully, it seems like the buskills, the TMD defenses, are being built left and right to go and protect the base. Also, very nice to see the spearheads being deployed. Although unfortunately, it seems like the M28 is, well, ready for that, as the response is immediate. As we can see, the buskills already finished, and also the T3 artillery also being deployed to go and actually fight back versus the enemy spearheads. So yes, it seems like this game is now entering the stage of the game where it's gonna be all about defending yourself from the opposing M28. Okay, this is just a civilian building here and being, well, trashed by the M28. Let's see, any interesting experimental units being built or not yet? Yep, seems like the players are not going for any kind of experimental units, at least at this stage of the game. As they are still worried about the massive upfront cost of, well, fielding such big units. Which I guess is kinda understandable considering the big threat of the M28. But I really do feel like a fat boy from Hybrid or a Megalith would be an amazing choice to actually just go and deal with the enemy opposing M28 forces. After all, you can leverage the range advantage quite well versus the opposing T3 units like the Sprite Strikers, or the artillery, or even the MMLs belonging to M28 unit mix. So a Fat Boy or a Crab would be amazing choice in here. Because otherwise, you just enter this kind of stalemate with no way to go and actually properly fight back apart from building your own T2 artillery emplacements, which unfortunately are gonna cost you dime and dozen. Like Hybrid and Gingerbreadman, if they were actually to pour in their resources, they have nearly 500 mass available per second, so yes. They would be able to go and field a Fat Boy in around 40 seconds or something, so yes. Okay, it seems like Vindex is actually being very, very nasty guy here. Using a small detachment of Flapjacks to, well, just go and bully Gingerbreadman, who is trying to defend his base with the T2 PDs and other units, which unfortunately are all outranched by the opposing MMLs, and we can already see 2 T2 Maxes have been shot down and he is now forced to go and build some TMD defenses. And defenses which are not gonna amount to much as well. They are quite easy to go and break through with the spearheads. So all that Vindex has to do is just keep producing some more of those units. Although never mind, it seems like a Corsair Snipe is gonna go and, well, delete a bunch of the Flapjacks. But all of them already paid for itself, we can see. 1200 mass killed, 500 500, yep, a lot of those really paid off for themselves, so even if they die now... Oh no, it seems like there was an AC explosion as we just lost Popiska in this game. As he have been sniped by the enemy Percivals and by the enemy Strikers. Oh my goodness, what a mistake from me. And what a mistake from the player himself to just keep on walking into the range of the enemy T3 units like that. But yes, this is a survival game right now. And it seems like another Fatboy is being produced by Carlos. So yep, 2 Fatboys. As it seems like both Team Popiska and Blast Shield are gonna be forced to go and defend versus the incoming Fatboys from both sides of the map. But it seems like the front line is actually collapsing for Hybrid, who have no real answer versus the incoming onslaught of missiles and sniper bots from the M28. It seems like Junior Breadman is gonna look for a opportunity to go and strike back versus the forces belonging to Vindex. And he indeed does have a big force of bricks available. An army that should be easily able to go and squash this yellow army belonging to Vindex and then actually make a beeline for this fire base and kill it too. Without much trouble, as there is only a bunch of Percivals available. Meanwhile, there is triple the number of the bricks, if not 4 times the amount, available for Junior Breadman. Although it seems like he is afraid of the enemy air force here. Which I guess is a given, considering just how many ASF units are available here. Exactly what? 100! 100 ASF compared versus the 60 belonging to Hybrid, and well, with the M28 forces coming closer and closer, it seems like it's gonna be very hard to defend the air grid soon enough. And yeah, Vindex asking if the players in the team Blast Shield are having fun, and no, Blast Shield is like, no, we are not having fun. The AI is bullying us all the time. And yes, bully it is. As it seems like Hybrid basically have no answer versus the opposing forces here. As the M28 is just about to finish razing down to the ground the base which once belonged to Hybrid. But now there is nothing more but a smoldering ruins remaining in here. We also have the Fatboy finally hitting the field for the top side. As the M28 is now gonna start laying down waste versus the units belonging to Control K. As we can see, the Percivals coming under fire, dropping lower and lower, nearly all of them down to half HP. So yes, it seems like the Killing Hammers are gonna be the answer versus the enemy Fatboy, and yep, that should be enough to go and stop him from attacking for a while longer. That is, as long as you can go and build enough of those artillery emplacements on time. But with only 4 of them available right now with a single demolisher, it might be actually pretty hard to go and defend versus this Fatboy, as he seems to be just unstoppable. He is gonna start opening fire versus the enemy Killing Hammers, as we can see the shields going down one after another. One Killing Hammer falling down, another going in its place. As the units are now trying to go and make some space here, as we can see the Percivals trying to go to the front line to be the target versus the opposing Fatboy, as they will try to be the meat shields for the Killing Hammers, which are trying to go and fire away at the enemy Fatboy. Unfortunately, he is not gonna go and fall down so easily. At the same time, we can see that the Fatboy for the Carlos is not even necessary to go and destroy the wall base belonging to Hybrid, as we can see him coming under the fire of the enemy MMLs, as the Even Songs and other Demolishers or Serenity T3 arties are laying down waste to the air grid belonging to Hybrid. He still have a few bricks available, but unfortunately they're all half HP, so they're gonna be unable to go and make a proper push versus the enemy forces. At the same time, Gingerbreadman have finished building the megalith, and he is pushing him towards the front line of Vindex. So it seems like there's gonna be a push happening here soon enough, but I'm not sure if this is the right play. After all, that megalith would be better used to go and defend the air grid belonging to Hybrid, as soon enough it might be gone. Not to mention the threat of the enemy. Well, never mind, there is a Marculot being built by the Control K, and now going for the enemy forces. He just managed to go and kill the enemy Fatboy while we were looking at the other side of the map. As also there was an airtime happening here as Corsairs proving their worth versus the Fatboys once again, so yes. It seems like the trouble is gonna get contained on the north front line, as Azot is really keeping the pulse in check. As right now, with the enemy M28 Fatboy being down and dusted, it seems like the front line is gonna stabilize for a much longer, especially as long as this Monkey is gonna go and stay alive. Which is not something that can be said about the bottom corner here, as both Gingerbreadman and Hybrid are really struggling to go and contain the opposing forces. So it seems like they're gonna go for the last-ditch effort attack with their megalith and bricks. As we can see, the megalith getting quite good value here versus the enemy fire bases. Already 10,000 mass killed on it. And it seems like the team Vindex doesn't have much to go and stop it, unless they can build some experimental unit on their own, and it seems like, yep, there it is. There is the answer. A Galactic Colossi is gonna go and join the front lines for the team Popiska to even out the odds. But what's more important is this bunch of restorers available for RNA. Because as we remember, the team Hybrid doesn't have enough air units to go and actually fight the air. As RNA himself have what? 140 ASF available, 20 restorers, and that's not even counting the 30 ASF and also another 20 coursers for Control K, so yes. I'm afraid to say that even though Gingerbreadman have some units available here in the mix, he have like what? 10 flak and another 10 bouncers available as the anti-air defenses. I still have to say this is not gonna be enough. And while we're looking at the right flank, it seems like the left side is totally collapsing, the air grid being basically no more for Hybrid, as the M28 forces are basically unstoppable. And now we can even see that the Fatboy and MML missile launchers are gonna go and erase the mid lane forces belonging to Gingerbreadman, as he is coming under fire from all sides at the same time. And yeah, here comes the GC. The GC is gonna go and try to go and kill the shield instead of going for the enemy Manhilor. So it seems like Azot is gonna win this fight here versus the enemy experimental unit. He will still lose a bunch of Percivals, as you can see. But the Monkey Lord and the few Ravagers are gonna be enough to go and bring down the Galactic Colossus to its knees. As we can see it falling down and now face planting into the ground. At the same time, the push from Gingerbreadman is not stopping. But yeah, there is the doom and gloom luring him in. As yes, here are the restorers. While he might be trying to go... Actually, I just had some... Yep, it seems like the Strat Bombers, the Ambassadors, are gonna go and delete whatever is remaining for the base belonging to Hybrid. As at the same time, this is really a do or die. You either push in with this army belonging to Hybrid, I mean Gingerbreadman, or you lose the game here and now. But the problem is, there is also a Soul Ripper available for Azot. So yes, I don't see this push working out. There might be army. This unit mix might be quite good, with the flak and bounces available. Bricks and other, and here comes the Soul Ripper. He is about to go and open fire versus the enemy units, as the Megalith is gonna be the target. We also have some ASF encircling, as we can see. The Corsairs going for a snipe versus the enemy ACU. No, where are they going? Nope, they're going for the Soothsayer. Unfortunately, not enough missiles have been fired. So the Soothsayer is still gonna go and stay in game. While we have units mixing in, the GC gonna go and open fire. It's close. Trying to go and bring down one brick after another. Brick by brick, it seems like they're gonna go and fall down, as the Restorers are now joining the fight once again to go and shut down the enemy Megalith. The Corsair snipe from Hybrid is not gonna work out, and even though the enemy GC might go and fall down, it seems like the Percivals are gonna be enough to go and dispatch enemy bricks, as we can see the purple units falling down one after another, becoming nothing else but smoldering wrecks. Now we have the Megalith as the next target. The next target for the enemy Restorers and for the big Soul Ripper. As Soul Ripper have been shot down by the enemy Air Force and the flag available to Gideon Bradman. But unfortunately, the price they're gonna pay for killing the Soul Ripper is losing the whole army belonging to Gideon Bradman. And now we can see that the Restorers are gonna keep advancing towards enemy ACUs. Can they find them or not? That is the question. The Soothsayer have been also killed by a snipe, and now there is nothing to go and stop the enemy forces from just waltzing into the enemy airbase. And while they're still trying to go and build some MAR, T2 flags, some T1 anti-RPDs and other SAMs, even some Bouncers coming up from the T3 land factories, I'm afraid to say this is not going to be enough to go and stop the enemy forces. Especially as we also have the Megalith being shot down by the enemy M28 units, as there is just not enough APM available for the Team Blast Shield to keep the game going on. As now we have GG Bradman being the next target here, as the shield is gonna go and blink down, going down. Restorer is falling left and right, as GG Bradman is only have 4,000 HP remaining, 2,000, 1,000 HP, and kaboom, baby, the man is no more. Next target is gonna be the Hybrid, as he is now also coming under the fire, but it seems like he have enough T2 anti-air flag available to go and shut down all of the enemy Restorers, buying him some more time to go and stay in the game, as all the flags have been killed, and as such the man can enjoy his survival gameplay even more. And like I said, the M28 is gonna go and dispatch the crab. The Megalith is down, so there is nothing else to go and protect him from the incoming M28 forces. At the same time, it seems like both Endranii and Azot are gonna have some trouble dealing with the Fat Boys, but the big Air Force and a brand new Soul Ripper from Azot are most likely gonna be enough to go and kill this Fat Boy. The shield is down. The Cougars might be trying their best to go and shut down a big roach on the sky, but this is not gonna be enough, as the AoE damage is gonna go and clean them up, and now the Restorers can go and defend the bases belonging to both Endranii and Control K. That is, unless they will go for the air snipe on the enemy ACU, as only single Hybrid is remaining in the game. But here is the problem. The Spearheads, the Evensongs, they are here to go and lay siege towards the bases belonging to Hybrid. He is trying to go and finish the Megalith on time, and while he might finish it to go and defend himself versus the enemy forces from the M28, the problem is that the remaining forces are getting cleaned out one after another by the enemy units, as you can see another Soul Ripper and a bunch of Percival going and cleaning up the remains of the base from Ginger Bradman, as now it seems like it is time to go and pay the piper, as he have nothing more to defend himself from. He still have some Myrmidons available, the T3 anti-air SAM launchers to go and protect himself from the enemy air snipe, But the problem is, while he's moving his megalith towards the right side, the right flank, he's still getting quite some big losses on the left side, as the Carlos, the M28 turtle, is laying down a siege to which he doesn't really have much answer to. So we will see who can stay alive in the survival game for longer. It seems like Control K is actually doing quite fine here, with the Kling Hammers, all of them scoring quite a good veterancy amount, 6,000 mass killed by this. This Monkey Lord, 40,000 killed. And yeah, it seems like the M28 is not gonna go and break down the Control K anytime soon, especially as the man is gonna keep on employing Soul Rippers to keep the enemy lines in check. We can see the Demolishers being killed by this run by fly. Here comes the scouting run to go and see if they can actually make a push or not on the bottom part of the Restorers. But frankly, to be said, it seems like Hybrid is most likely gonna go and fall down to the enemy M28 forces. As the MMLs, the Spearheads, the Evensongs and the Flapjacks are kind of unstoppable. There might be a lot of TMD available, but they are not managing to go and actually kill all of the missiles, as we can see the shield still taking a lot of damage from the incoming fire. And yes, if this big army of spearheads actually comes any close towards the base belonging to Hybrid, they can easily overwhelm all of the defenses belonging to the Cyan team. Well, at the very least, the Megalith is getting some good value by pushing back the enemy Percivals. And yes, the north front line is not gonna fall down anytime soon. There is just no way for the M28 to go and break it down so well. Seems like Azot is gonna be chilling just fine, enjoying his life. As the one in trouble is Hybrid, who is, well, just trying to go and stay alive for as long as he can. And well, here comes the Flapjack and Spearheads. The missiles flying in the air. Although I have no clue what are they aiming at. Looking... Oh, they're trying to kill this single Cougar from the M28, but in the process they're actually killing the ASF belonging to Endranii, as the missiles are connecting with all kinds of random targets. Another volley of the missiles, this time aimed at the base belonging to Hybrid, and you can see the TMDs are getting overwhelmed one after another. The shields also blinking and falling down, as there is just too many missiles being deployed by the forces belonging to Vindex, as the yellow squares are, well, now gonna come under fire from the single Harbinger belonging to the M28, who is gonna go and put a wrench in the plans of Vindex. So yes, it's basically a free-for-all, even though Vindex is helping the M28 deal with the base belonging to Hybrid. It seems like M28 doesn't like it. He's like, okay, listen buddy, I can deal with Hybrid alone. I need none of your help, so yeah, go away, shoo shoo. And really, a snipe attempt might be necessary, because the longer the game goes on, the more troublesome the M28 is gonna be. As we can see him deploying more and more fat boys to the front line to go and break the base belonging to Control K. A char also being built. Apocalypse missile launcher also is online. So in the next 5 minutes, unless we will have some SMBs available. Okay, the SMB is available, so yes, it seems like Control K and Endranii are gonna be more than fine. Oh, and here comes the air snipe! I missed the air snipe! As it seems like the last player, Hybrid, have been killed by the Air Snipe, the Shockers and the Soul Rippers belonging to the team Popiska have come to go and seal the deal. As now there is nothing else remaining from the team Blast Shield, so well. GG, well played, and I'm so sorry for missing this. I was looking what the M28 can do to go and kill the base belonging to, well, Control K, but yeah. I just missed this one. I'm so sorry everyone, but yeah. This is the game number 3, and now with the 2 points going to the team Popiska, they are gonna go and advance to the next round, while the team Blast Shield is gonna go and actually get removed from the tournament. And yeah, I'm so sorry for missing this. I guess, well, we have been streaming for what? 6 hours already, so yeah. I guess I'm just gonna sleep up at the end of the stream like that, so yeah, I'm so sorry guys, but yep. That's gonna be it for today, and well, see you tomorrow for the next rounds of this tournament. GG, well play, and thanks everyone for playing.